Lone Star Community Radio presents the Lone Star Radio Hour. For the next hour, you will hear locally produced radio plays from different groups around Montgomery County. If you're interested in the Lone Star Radio Hour and you want us to run one of your programs that you produced, just contact us at lscrstudios at gmail.com. If you are interested in recording your own show here at the studio, you can just contact us. And we're also looking for sponsorships for this time slot. So, again, just contact us at lscrstudios at gmail.com. You can also visit the Lone Star Radio Hour online at irlonestar.com/LSRH. That's irlonestar.com/LSRH. For all the plays on on-demand format. The following radio play you're about to hear is produced by the Players Theater Company in Conroe, Texas. For more information on the Players, check them out online at www.owentheater.com/players.
Live from the glittering Arts and Entertainment District in downtown Conroe, Texas, comes the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour. This is your series host, Dennis Nelson, welcoming you back to the home of vintage radio drama. This evening, we bring you the first of 2 episodes from the CBS anthology Academy Award. In just a few moments, we'll follow the adventures of Sam Spade, iconic private eye, as he is embroiled in murder and intrigue in the Maltese Falcon. And next month, we'll be bringing you another Academy Award adaptation, Brief Encounter. As the series title implied, Academy Award offered, quote, Hollywood's finest, chosen from the honor roll of those who have won or been nominated for the famous Golden Oscar, unquote. The series began with an impressive start on March 30th, 1946, with Bette Davis in Jezebel, but it was canceled after only 39 weeks. It was an expensive show to produce, since the stars cost $4,000 a week, and another $1,600 went from every episode to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, just for the use of their name in the show's title. Now a bit more about the Maltese Falcon. History tells us that the island of Malta made an annual tribute to the Holy Roman Empire from 1530 until 1798. The famous Dashiell Hammett novel follows the sweeping fictional story of one of these tributes, long after the empire has fallen. Hammett only included his Sam Spade character in this and in 3 lesser-known short stories. Yet Spade is widely cited as the crystallizing figure in the development of the hard-boiled private detective genre. Raymond Chandler's Philip Marlowe, featured in our premiere episode, The Red Wind, was strongly influenced by Hammett's Spade. Following the novel's popularity, The Maltese Falcon has been adapted for the cinema 3 times, once even as a comedy. But it's the 1941 version starring Humphrey Bogart that stands the test of time. This landmark film noir often appears on lists of greatest films ever made, including those of Entertainment Weekly and the late critic Roger Ebert. In 1999, it was included in the Library of Congress National Film Registry. But enough about history. Let's introduce tonight's star-studded cast and crew. Starring tonight as Sam Spade is the debonair David Herman. David frequently appears in Players Theater Company productions, recently in To Kill a Mockingbird and Smokey Joe's Cafe. David was also Monty nominated for his role in The Matchmaker. Returning to the Old Time Radio Hour after starring in our pilot episode is the magnificent Patrice Cataminas as femme fatale Bridget O'Shaughnessy. Patrice will also be assisting me tonight with tonight's announcements. The masterful Kelly Strang appears tonight as the menacing Mr. Gutman. You heard Kelly last month as Bob Cratchit in our Radio Hour presentation of A Christmas Carol. Accomplished actors Adam Morrow and Jeffrey Ott join the radio hour for the first time as Joel, Cairo, and Wilmer. Our sound effects tonight will be performed live and from scratch without the use of recordings by Will Radcliffe and Quint Bishop. Quint is pulling double duty tonight as our Academy Award host and was Monty nominated for his role in The Miracle on 34th Street. Our music this evening will be improvised and performed by exquisite musician Laurie Shones. Laurie is a veteran collaborator with our radio hour, having joined us on The Shadow, A Christmas Carol, and our 75th anniversary presentation of War of the Worlds. Laurie was also nominated for a Monty for her work on The Fantastics. We'll start our presentation of the Maltese Falcon in just a few moments, but first, let's listen to this important message.
The Players Theatre Company began in 1967 as the Little Theatre of Conroe and produced shows on the Conroe High School stage and then in a former plumbing supply store at the corner of Galveston and Robertson Streets. In 1979, the group helped to clean and restore the Crichton Theatre, where we operated for nearly 30 years as the Crichton Players. In 2008, we moved into our current residence at the Owen Theatre.
The Owen Theatre is an intimate, soft-seat venue, which seats approximately 250 people, and is home to the Players Theatre Company. This building was constructed in 1946, originally as the Wiesner Pontiac GMC dealership. It is owned by the City of Conroe and has been renovated to accommodate the production and presentation of live theatrical performances. It is notable amongst the sparkling arts and entertainment district of downtown Conroe, where spectacular shows are performed to eager fans year-round, and where art galleries line the streets with creative offerings for collectors of every strata.
Be sure to get your tickets for the sequel to one of our most popular musicals, Nonsense 2, The Second Coming, opening Friday, January 24th. For subscription information and for tickets, please go to owentheatre.com. That's OwenTheatre.com.
And now, Academy Award. Academy Award brings you Hollywood's finest, the great picture plays, the great actors and actresses, techniques and skills chosen from the honor rolls of those who have won or been nominated for the famous Golden Oscar of the Academy of Motion Picture, Arts and Sciences. And now we bring you the distinguished actor, Mr. Humphrey Bogart, who, as Best Actor of the Year, was nominated for the 1943 Academy Award. You will also hear Miss Mary Astor, who won the 1941 Academy Award as Best Supporting Actress of the Year, and Sidney Greenstreet, who was nominated for the 1941 Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Tonight, Mr. Bogart, Miss Astor, and Mr. Greenstreet will play the famous roles they created for the screen in The Maltese Falcon, the thrilling mystery which was nominated as Best Production of the Year for 1941 Academy Awards.
The name is Spade, Sam Spade, license number 357896, issued by the Police Department of San Francisco. Occupation, private detective, sometimes known as Private Eye. My files in the case of the Maltese Falcon are closed, but I've got the Falcon, and I got it and some dough. My partner got murdered, and a very slick chick went up for life. I'll tell you about it. This slick chick comes to me one day, gives me a song and dance about her sister and a guy named Floyd Thursby. She wants us to get her sister back before her mother and father get in from Hawaii. I put my partner, Miles Archer, on the case. That night, he gets murdered, and so does this guy Thursby. I go round to the apartment where the dame is living, the one called Bridget O'Shaughnessy. She had something I seemed to go for.
Oh, Mr. Spade, come in.
I have come in.
Yes, so you have. Mr. Spade, am I to blame for last night?
You warned us that Thursby was dangerous. Of course, you lied to us about your sister and all that, but that doesn't count. We didn't believe you.
Oh, help me, Mr. Spade. I need help so badly. I've no right to ask you, but I do ask you. Help me.
You won't need much of anybody's help. You're good. You're awful good. It's chiefly your eyes, I think, and that throb you get into your voice when you say things like, "Help me, Mr. Spade."
I deserve that. But, the lie was in the way I said it and not at all in what I said.
If I'm going to help you, I've got to have some sort of a line on your Floyd Thursby.
I met him in the Orient. We came here from Hong Kong last week.
Did he kill Archer?
Yes, certainly.
Picked a nice sort of playmate.
Only that sort could have helped me if he had been loyal.
How bad a hole are you actually in?
As bad as could be.
Physical danger?
I'm not heroic. I don't think there's anything worse than death.
Then it's that.
It's that, as surely as we're sitting here. Unless you help me.
Who killed Thursby? Your enemies are his.
I don't know. His, I suppose. I'm afraid. I don't know.
Who are these enemies?
Well, there's a small, dark man with white teeth and a smooth, dangerous, fat man.
This is hopeless. Well, how much money have you got?
I've about $500 left.
Give it to me. There's only 400 here.
I had to keep some to live on.
Okay, I'll be back as soon as I can. You needn't come to the door with me. I can let myself out. I went by the office then and found a dark little guy with very white teeth waiting for me. His name was Joel Cairo. He was a Greek.
Mr. Spade, I'm trying to recover an ornament that has been, shall we say, mislaid. I thought and hoped you could assist me.
Uh-huh.
The ornament is a statuette, the black figure of a bird. I am prepared to pay the sum of $5,000 for its recovery, and no questions asked.
5,000's a lot of money. It's a very interesting figure.
You will put your hands together, back of your neck, Mr. Spade.
Huh? Oh, sure.
I shall shoot you if you try to stop me, Mr. Spade, but I must search your office.
You won't find anything but a pair of worn-out rubbers, a half pint of rum, and a pack of chewing gum.
Oh, we shall see. Please stand up. So?
Sure. This way?
No, the other way.
Sure. I'll take the gun, Mr. Cairo. Now get up.
I'm very slow at things like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm still prepared to pay $5,000 for the return of the figure. Do you have it, Mr. Spade?
No.
If it's not here, why did you just risk serious injury to prevent my searching for it?
Well, I should sit around and let people come in and stick me up?
You wish some assurance of my sincerity? A retainer?
I might.
Say $100.
You better make it 200. Thanks. Your first guess was that I had the bird. What's your second guess?
That you know where it is, or where you can get it.
You're not hiring me to murder or do burglary, but to get back the figure in some lawful way? Say from a dame with red hair? Or a smooth, dangerous fat man?
Oh, so you know. You must beware of them. They would stop at nothing. May I have my pistol now?
Yeah, sure. I'd forgotten it.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Spade, you will kindly clasp your hands behind your neck.
What
Oh, don't move, Mr. Spade. This time I might shoot. I insist on searching your office.
Sure. Go ahead. I finally got rid of the Greek and started back for Bridget O'Shaughnessy's apartment. Matter of fact, I had a hunch that the Greek was going there himself and started to tail his cab when a sad-faced guy poked something into my back and said,
Come on. The fat man wants to see you. Here he is, Mr. Gutman. The guy who was talking to the dame and the Greek.
Ah, Mr. Spade.
Mr. Gutman.
We begin well, sir. I distrust a man who talks too much.
I like to talk.
Of course, talking's something you can't do judiciously, unless you keep in practice.
Yeah.
Now, sir, we'll talk if you like, and I'll tell you right out that I'm a man likes talking to a man who likes to talk.
Swell. Will we talk about the blackbird?
You're the man for me, sir. No beating about the bush. Right to the point. Let us talk about the blackbird by all means. Mr. Spade, have you any conception of how much money can be got for that blackbird?
No.
Well, sir, if I told you half, you'd call me a liar.
No. Not even if I thought so. But you just tell me what it is, and I'll figure out the profits.
You mean you don't know what that bird is?
Well, I know what it's supposed to look like. I know the value in human life you people put on it.
Miss O'Shaughnessy didn't tell you what it is, and Cairo didn't either.
He offered me 10,000 for it.
10,000. And dollars, mind you, not even pounds. They must know what it is. Or do they? What is your impression?
I can't tell. They're both lying.
If they don't know, I'm the only one in the whole wide, sweet world who does.
Swell. When you've told me, that'll make two of us.
Mathematically correct, sir. But I don't know for certain that I'm going to tell you.
Don't be foolish. You know what it is, and I know where it is. That's why I'm here.
Well, sir, where is it?
Don't be silly.
You see, I must tell you what I know, but you will not tell me what you know. That is hardly equitable, sir. No, I don't think we can do business along those lines.
Yeah, well, think again and think fast. I can get along without you. And keep that Gunzel away from me while you're making up your mind. I'll kill him.
Well, sir, I must say you have a most violent temper.
Well, what are you wasting time for? You've got till 5:30, then you're either in or out for keeps.
In a moment, you will hear part 2 of tonight's presentation of the Maltese Falcon, brought to you by Academy Award.
The Players Theater Company actively serves the community of Conroe, Texas, and Montgomery County. Every season, your talented friends and neighbors bring you 7 amazing shows on our stage, and now even more through the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour. There's always something going on, and we are always on the lookout for new volunteers. Whether you're a seasoned professional or new to the theater, our doors are always open to you. We invite you and your talent to help us serve the community.
It's your effort and expertise that makes our shows as good as they are. If you are interested in acting, directing, dancing, props, makeup, lighting, being a host or hostess, or any of the exciting areas on or off stage, we want you to join the Players Theater Company. Go to our website and join today. We look forward to meeting you. go to theplayerstc.com. That's theplayerstc.com. Join today.
Three characters and a black bird. Well, all I knew was my partner was dead, and the cops were getting very uncooperative about the whole thing, including, who killed Floyd Thursby? I thought I'd better get back to see that O'Shaughnessy dame before it was too late. And sure enough, it almost was.
They came here and took him away.
Took who away? Who?
The police. They wanted to talk to you, too. They took Mr. Cairo with them.
What was he doing here?
He came to talk about the bird.
Hey, what is this bird, this falcon everybody's all steamed up about?
Suppose I wouldn't tell you anything at all about it. What would you do? Something wild and unpredictable?
Maybe.
Well, it's a black figure, as you know, smooth and shiny, of a bird, a hawk or falcon, about 12 inches high.
Well, what makes it so important?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me, but they promised me £500 if I helped them get it from the man who had it.
Go ahead.
They promised me £500 to help them, and I did. Then we found that Joel Cairo was going to take the falcon and desert Floyd and me, so we did that to Joel first.
You are a liar.
I am a liar. I've always been a liar.
Well, don't brag about it. Is there any truth at all in that yarn?
Some. Not very much.
Well, we've got plenty of time. I'll put some coffee on and we'll try again.
Oh, I'm so tired. So tired of lying and thinking up lies and not knowing what is a lie and what is the truth. Oh, darling, don't stare at me like that. Come closer, darling.
It is something to do while we're waiting. Why not?
Kiss me, Sam Spade. Kiss me.
Why not? It happens every time. I'll get it.
Be careful, darling.
Come on. The fat man wants to see you.
Well, if it isn't the fat man's killer. Hello, pale face. How many'd you bump off today?
Shut up. Gutman's waiting for you.
No kidding. What kept you?
Darling, what does he want?
He wants me. The fat man's been thinking things over.
Well, Mr. Spade, I must apologize for sending for you in this fashion.
Never mind. Let's talk about the bird.
All right, let's. What do you think of the Order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem?
Crusaders or something, weren't they?
Very good. In 1539, these crusading knights persuaded Emperor Charles V to give them the island of Malta. He made but one condition. They were to pay him each year the tribute of a falcon, in acknowledgement that Malta was still under Spain. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
Have you any conception of the extreme, immeasurable wealth of the order of that time?
Well, I imagine they were pretty well fixed.
They were rolling in wealth, sir. They hit upon the happy thought of sending the emperor for the first year's tribute not an insignificant live bird, but a glorious golden falcon, encrusted from head to foot with the finest jewels in their coffers. Allow me to replenish your drink, sir. Well, what do you think of these knights?
I don't know.
Well, sir, the glorious falcon never reached Spain. Buccaneers raided the galleon. In 1713, the bird showed up in Sicily. In 1840, in Paris. And it had by that time acquired a coat of black enamel, looking like nothing but a fairly interesting black statue. In 1923, a Greek dealer found it in an obscure Paris shop. He knew what it was. I heard about it in London and rushed over to buy it. But the Greek was murdered, and the falcon gone. That was 23 years ago. For 23 years I've searched for the bird. I traced it to the home of a Russian general, Kemedov, but he wouldn't sell, even though he knew nothing of its value. I was forced to send my agents after it. They got it, sir, but I haven't got it. But I'm going to get it, sir. How soon are you willing to produce the Falcon?
Couple of days.
That is satisfactory. Well, sir, here's a fair bargain and profits large enough for both of us.
What's your idea of a fair bargain?
Shall I say 100,000?
Why not?
What do you say to $250,000?
Oh, then you think the dingus is worth a million, huh?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Say, I feel kind of funny, Getman. That drink.
My dear man, how could you suggest anything so crude? Wilma! Wilma!
Yeah? The drink got him, huh?
Put your guns away, Wilma. You must learn to be subtle in these things. Like me.
Out like a light, huh? Well, I owe him something, the louse. He thinks he's tough? Let's see if he can take this.
That's enough, Wilma. You've kicked him enough. It'd never do to kill him here. Besides, Wilma, you know how I hate the sight of blood.
In a moment, you will hear the conclusion to tonight's presentation of the Maltese Falcon, brought to you by Academy Award.
Are you looking for a unique way to promote your local business and support the arts at the same time?
If your answer is yes, then you have a groundbreaking opportunity right now to tell the world about your business.
Promote yourself and the arts in Conroe by advertising on this very program.
Imagine your company's name mentioned here in a radio spot, complete with actors, music, and sound effects. We reach not only Conroe, Montgomery County, and Texas, but many countries worldwide.
The advertising contained in this program airs not only once, but several times, and then is included with the archived program for on-demand listening.
Rates are much less than you might expect, so contact Dick Schisler, General Manager at Lone Star Internet Radio, for more details.
Call today at 832-3359-646 or send an email to Dick at irlonestar.com.
Don't wait! Claim your radio spot and get the word out about your business today.
And now we present the conclusion of tonight's episode of Academy Award, starring Humphrey Bogart in The Maltese Falcon, with Mary Astor and Sidney Greenstreet.
I guess the name of Sam Spade was a cinch for the back page obituaries, but I came out of it somehow and managed to get up and stagger out of that apartment. I went around to the hotel where Joel Cairo had a room and made a deal with the house Dick to let me search it. All I could find was a newspaper in the wastebasket, folded back to the steamship news. There was a list of arrivals and one was marked. It said 8:07 a.m., the La Paloma from Hong Kong. That was good enough for me. I got a cab and rode to the docks. The La Paloma was on fire and burning beautifully. I went back to my office to hold my aching head and think things over when the door opened, and a tall guy in a long black overcoat stood there with a package in his hands, making gurgling noises before he fell like a tree. He should have. He was dead. I took a good look at him. He was a mate off the La Paloma. I unwrapped his package and there it was, the black bird, the Maltese Falcon. I grabbed the phone and listened. It was Bridget O'Shaughnessy, and she said she was in trouble. I found her shivering in the dark corner of an office building, and I took her and the Falcon home to my apartment. I put her on the couch. I put the Falcon in the icebox, where no one would think to look for anything, including ice. I came back in and switched on the lights and found a surprise party waiting to greet me.
Well, sir, we're all here. Now, let's sit down and be comfortable and talk.
Sure. Get away from me, Gunzel. You're not gonna frisk me.
Stand still. Shut up.
Put your paw on me and I'm gonna make you use that gun. Ask your boss if he wants me shot up before we talk.
Never mind, Wilmer. You're certainly a most headstrong individual, Mr. Spade. Well, let's be seated.
You too, Cairo. You can put down your gun, too.
Of course, Mr. Spade. I was only using caution, as it were.
You ready, Gutman? Are you ready to make the first payment and take the Falcon off my hands?
Well, sir, as to that, here are $10,000, sir.
Oh, we were talking about more money than this.
Yes, sir, we were. But this is genuine coin of the realm, sir. With $1 of this, you can buy $10 of talk, and besides, there are more of us to be taken care of now.
Well, that may be, but I've got the Falcon.
I should not think it would be necessary to remind you, Mr. Spade, that though you may have the Falcon, we certainly have you.
Yes, I'm trying not to let that worry me. We'll come to the money later. There's another thing to be taken care of first. We've got to have a fall guy. The police have to have a victim, somebody they can stick for those 3 murders.
Only 2 murders, Mr. Spade. Thursby undoubtedly killed your partner.
All right, 2. What difference does it make? The point is, we've got to give the police...
Come, Mr. Spade. You can't expect us to believe at this late date you are the least afraid of the police, or that you're not able to handle...
I'm up to my neck, Gutman. I've got to come through with somebody, a victim, when the time comes. If I don't, I'll be it. Let's give him the Gunzel. He actually did shoot Thursby in the other one, didn't he? Anyway, he's made to order for the part. Let's turn him over to the cops.
Get up on your feet. I've taken all the writing from you I'm going to tape. Get up. Let's shoot it out.
Now, Wilma, don't shoot.
There, Gunzel, that'll take care of you. Put him on the sofa. Sorry, Bridget, but you seem to have recovered.
I'm all right.
Good. Well, gentlemen, there's our fall guy. And now, gentlemen, you agree, or I'll turn the Falcon and the whole lot of you in.
Mr. Spade, I don't like this. What if we took matters into our own hands and killed you?
You won't, or you'll never find the Falcon.
True, but there are other ways. We could make you talk.
Nah, I'd take it and make you kill me, and then you'd end up the same way.
I believe you would, too.
Well?
I've always felt toward Wilmer like a father. But you can have him.
Swell. Let's get the details fixed. Why did he shoot Thursby?
Thursby was Miss O'Shaughnessy's ally. We thought in disposing of him, we would teach Miss O'Shaughnessy to patch up her differences with us regarding the Falcon.
And the mate from the La Paloma?
That was Miss O'Shaughnessy's fault.
Oh.
Cairo got in touch with me when he saw the notice of the ship's arrival. He remembered that the mate and Miss O'Shaughnessy had been friendly in Hong Kong. He called on this man, but he, with Miss O'Shaughnessy and the bird, slipped through our fingers. We followed them to her apartment, and Wilmer shot the mate as he was coming down the fire escape. He shot him many times, but the man was tough, and he did not drop the Falcon. We persuaded Miss O'Shaughnessy to call your office, but unfortunately she did not call in time to prevent you from meeting the mate and getting the Falcon.
I see.
And now, sir, would it be presumptuous if we asked to see the Falcon?
Okay, it's in my icebox.
Icebox? I say, you are a character, sir. Yes, very, very clever of you. Very.
I've got it! I've got it!
Bring it in here at once.
Here, wrapped in this.
Now, after 23 years. Ah, it is it. But we'll make sure. Hand me your knife, sir.
Here.
I'll peel off some of this disfiguring enamel. It's a fake.
All right, O'Shaughnessy, you've had your little joke. Now tell us about it.
No, Sam, no! That's the one I got from the Russian, I swear!
You bungled it, Gutman. You and your stupid attempt to buy it. The Russian got on how valuable it was. No wonder we had so little trouble stealing it. You imbecile! You bloated idiot!
Yes! This is the Russian's hand, there's no doubt of it. Well, sir, what do you suggest? Shall we stand here and shed tears and call each other names? Or shall we go to Istanbul and interview our Russian friend?
Go to Istanbul.
For 23 years I wanted that little item and have been trying to get it. If I must spend another year on the quest, well, that will be an added expenditure in time only.
I'll go with you. Wilmer's gone!
Wilmer's gone? So he has. That makes it imperative that we go too. Oh, by the way, sir, I'll trouble you for my envelope containing the $10,000.
I kept my end of the bargain, but I'll settle for $1,000 for expenses.
Thank you. I'll allow you the $1,000.
That'll take care of my time.
Now, sir, we'll say goodbye to you. Unless you care to undertake the Istanbul expedition with us. You don't? That's too bad. Well, sir, the shortest farewells are best. Adieu. And to you, Miss O'Shaughnessy, I leave the Rara Avis there on the table as a little memento. The Maltese Falcon.
All right, O'Shaughnessy, talk.
Where shall I begin?
You came to me and asked me to have Thursby followed. I put my partner on it. He followed Thursby. He was killed. You must have told Thursby he was being followed.
I told him, yes. But please believe me, Sam. I wouldn't have told him if I thought Floyd Thursby would kill your partner.
Miles hadn't many brains, but he'd had too many years' experience as a detective to be caught like that by a man he was shadowing up a blind alley with his gun tucked away in his hip and his overcoat buttoned. But he'd have gone up there with you, Angel. He was just dumb enough for that. And then you could have stood as close to him in the dark as you liked and put a bullet through him.
Don't talk to me like that, Sam. You know I didn't know.
Stop it! Why did you shoot him?
I didn't mean to at first. I can't look at you and tell you this, Sam.
You thought Thursby would tackle him. If he got Thursby, then you were rid of him. If Thursby won, you had something on him. Enough to be rid of him for good. Wasn't that it?
Something like that.
But when Thursby backed down, you took the gun and did the job yourself.
Oh, Sam, sweetheart. From the very first instant I saw you, I knew.
You angel. Well, if you get a good break, you'll be out of San Quentin in 20 years, and you can come back to me then. I hope they don't hang you, precious, by that sweet neck.
You know deep down in your heart that in spite of anything I've done, I love you.
I don't care who loves who. I'm not gonna play the sap for you. I won't walk in Thursby's and I don't know how many others' footsteps. You killed my partner, and you're going over for it.
Why must you do this to me, Sam? Surely your partner wasn't as much to you as...
Listen to me. This won't do any good. You'll never understand it, but I'll try once and then give it up. Listen, when a man's partner is killed, he's supposed to do something about it. And it happens we're in the detective business. Well, when one of your organization gets killed, it's bad business to let the killer get away with it. Bad all around. Bad for every detective everywhere.
You can't send me to the... Sam! You can't! You love me! You love me!
Maybe I do. What of it? Maybe next month I won't. I've been through it before. I'll have some rotten nights after I've sent you over. but that'll pass. I want you, sure, but I won't take you at the price because all of me wants to, regardless of consequences. And because you counted on that with me, same as you counted on that with all the others.
Oh, Sam, darling, kiss me. Kiss me.
Sure, baby.
What are you doing? Who are you calling?
The cops, baby. The cops to come and take you away.
Thank you for joining us during this riveting episode of the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour. By the way, you know Joel Cairo said he was willing to pay Spade $5,000 for the Maltese Falcon. It's interesting to note that the Falcon prop, which was used in the Bogart movie, sold at auction this past November for over $4 million. For a Hollywood collector, the Maltese Falcon is truly the stuff that dreams are made of. Tonight's technical credits go to Dick Schistler, sound engineer and producer for Lone Star Internet Radio. Our sound effects were performed live and from scratch without the use of recordings by Will Radcliffe and Quint Bishop. Our music this evening was improvised and performed by Laurie Shones. Commercial announcers were Patrice Ketaminos and yours truly, Dennis Nelson. Opening January 24th at the Owen Theater, the sequel to a fan favorite, Nonsense 2, The Second Coming. Be sure to get your tickets now for this hilarious show. The spellbinding Inherit the Wind follows on March 21st. More details on tickets and our Players Theater Company season can be found at owentheater.com. Special thanks go to Kathy Cook, owner of the Gallery Off the Square in downtown Conroe, for the use of her space for rehearsal purposes. Be sure to stop by her gallery located at 202 North Main in Conroe, Texas, and view breathtaking classic American and Thomas Kincaid artwork, and enjoy refreshments in Chelsea's Tea Room. Tell her you heard about the gallery on the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour. Also visit her online at galleryoffthesquare.net. Tonight's players included Patrice Ketaminos as Bridget O'Shaughnessy, Kelly Strang as Mr. Gutman, Adam Morrow as Joel Cairo, Jeffrey Ott as Wilmer, and David Herman as Sam Spade. Tonight's episode was directed by Timothy Eggert, who also produces this series on behalf of the Players Theater Company. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour was created by Craig Campobella and Dick Schistler, exclusively for the Players Theater Company. This episode of the Players Theater Old Time Radio Hour was performed live on Lone Star Internet Radio in Conroe, Texas, on January 18th, 2014, and was recorded for encore broadcasts. Visit irlonestar.com every month for freshly archived programs like last month's Radio Hour episode of A Christmas Carol, now available on demand for your listening pleasure. Our next live radio production will also be from the Academy Award anthology, this time featuring the classic story Brief Encounter, on a special night and time, Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th at 7 p.m. Thank you so very much for joining us. From the glittering Arts District of downtown Conroe, Texas, this is your host, Dennis Nelson, wishing you a very pleasant evening.
Thanks for listening to Lone Star Radio Hour here on Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget, the Lone Star Radio Hour airs every Sunday at 7 p.m. on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you want to join and be part of the Lone Star Radio Hour with your own radio play, contact us today at lscrstudios at gmail.com. We are also looking for support for this time slot, so if you're interested in sponsoring this time slot, contact us again at lscrstudios at gmail.com. And don't forget, this radio play was brought to you by the Players Theater Company in Conroe, Texas. For more information about the Players, please check them out online at owentheater.com/players.